Alright guys, today we're going to start Chapter 7, Unit 7, and our objectives are to identify similar polygons, apply properties of similar polygons to solve problems. Figures that are similar, and then there's your similar symbol, have the same shape but not necessarily the same size. So we have triangle 1 and we have triangle 2. If you notice, they're the same shape, but they're not the same size, so they are similar. However, triangle 1 and 3 on the right side here are not even the same shape, so they cannot be similar. Alright, our similar polygons theorem here. Our definition actually. Two polygons are similar polygons if and only if their corresponding angles are congruent and their corresponding side lengths are proportional. So if you notice, the corresponding angles, so we have angle A and E are congruent, angle B and F are congruent, angle C and G, and angle D and H. Corresponding angles are congruent. Then if you look at segment AB, corresponds with EF. AB is 6, EF is 12, therefore you get 1/2. Segment BC corresponds with FG. BC is 5.4, FG is 10.8, you get 1/2. Same with CD and GH. CD is 4, GH is 8. 1/2 again. And then the last one, DA and HE, which is 5/10, which is 1/2. So your corresponding side lengths need to be proportional. Now we're going to identify the pairs of congruent angles and corresponding sides. Okay, well we know that angle N is congruent to angle Q because they're 90 degrees, and that angle P and angle R are congruent because it's given that they're 63 degrees. We also know that angle M and angle T are congruent because of your third angles theorem. So all three pairs of corresponding angles are congruent. Now we've got to look at the sides. Well, we have MP over TR, which is going to give you 2.2 over 1.1, simplifies to 2. Then we have MN, which corresponds to TQ, 2 over 1, which simplifies to 2. And then NP corresponds to QR, 1 over 0.5, which simplifies to 2. So all corresponding sides are proportional. Now we're going to do the same thing we just did. I'll give you a second, see if you can figure this one out on your own. Start with your angles first, corresponding angles. Make sure they're all congruent. Then start with your corresponding sides. So we have AB over JG, BC over GH, and AC over JH. And when you simplify, they all equal 2. Similarity ratio is the ratio of the lengths of the corresponding sides of two similar polygons. The similarity ratio of ABC, which is the smaller triangle to DEF, to the larger triangle is 3/6 or 1/2. The similarity ratio of the larger triangle to the smaller triangle would be 2. So make sure you're very careful in reading the similarity ratio directions, because you have to correspond with, like this one's small to large, this one's large to small. Writing a similarity statement is like writing a congruency statement. Be sure to list corresponding vertices in the exact same order. Determine whether the polygons are similar. If so, write the similarity ratio and a similarity statement. Okay, well, first we're going to identify angles. Okay, so it's telling us that we have rectangle ABCD and rectangle EFGH. So with that given, I know that angle A is congruent, angle A to angle E, because all angles of a rectangle are 90 degrees. I know that angle B corresponds to F, angle C corresponds to G, and the last angle, angle D, which corresponds with angle H. Okay, once I've got my angles listed, I need to start looking at my corresponding sides. Okay, so let's start with side AB. So AB corresponds with EF. AB is 6, EF is 4. If I simplify that, I get 3 over 2. Then I'm going to do BC. BC corresponds with FG. BC is 9, FG is 6. Simplify that, I get 3 over 2. CD. CD corresponds with GH. CD, I don't know. Okay, let's back up. We can stop there. We don't have to go any farther. Oh, yes we do. That's my error. We do know what CD is. And we do know what GH is by definition of a rectangle. So, CD is the same measurement of AB. So this is 6. GH is the same measurement as FE. So that is 4. So we have 6 over 4, which simplifies to 3/2. And then our last corresponding sides are DA and HE. I want DA, HE. DA is congruent to BC, so that's 9. HE is congruent to GF, so that's 6. So that's 9 over 6. And that equals 3 over 2. Okay, got all my sides. They are proportional, so now I've got to write my similarity statement. Actually, my similarity ratio, okay? I went from this rectangle to this rectangle to this rectangle, so it's 3 over 2. It cannot be 2 over 3. Okay, same thing. I'm going to be quiet, let you do this on your own. All right, when you look at these two triangles, we know that they're isosceles because of our segment lengths here. So I know that measurement of angle P and measurement of angle R are congruent. And I can find the measurements of those by using your triangle angle sum theorem. Taking 180 minus the angle that is given. That'll give me the sum of these two angles. Then I need to divide that by 2, and I find the measurement of each angle there. And then on the smaller triangle, STW, the angle measure is given here. And it's across from one of my isosceles side lengths. So angle W has to equal 62 also. Therefore, we do not have any congruent angles, and these triangles are not similar. Find the length of the model to the nearest tenth of a centimeter. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to set up our proportion and use the racing car over the model. Okay? We need to find the length of the model to the nearest tenth of a centimeter. All right, so we've got the model, the width, 1.8. I'm sorry, that is the racing car, the width, and then the model, 6.3. And we can set that equal to, on top, you got to have the same as what you have on top over here. So that is the racing car, that is the length, which is 5 meters, over the length of the model, which we don't know. Okay? And this is where you do your cross product. 1.8 times x, 6.3 times 5. And then we simplify to solve for x. So 1.8x equals 31.5. Divide both sides by 1.8. X is going to give you 17.5. X represents the length of the model. The measurements for the length of the model are centimeters. And we're trying to find the length of the model. So, length of model car is 17.5 centimeters. And that's it, guys. Have a good evening.